I wanted to get Rusty on here too, so
Heather wanted me to tell you what we're fixing to do. I don't know what Heather's fixing to do. She's probably fixing to watch Days of Our Lives, but I'm going running and then gonna grill hot dogs.
Rusty, I meant with our live.
We are moving back to Clinton.
Rusty and I grew up together. We grew up down the street from each other.
Went to the same church, we're friends, went to the same school, just kind of always knew each other. She thought I was a nerd.
He pinch rolled his jeans just a little too tight, a little too long. And but we got past that and started dating when I was in the 9th grade and he was in the 10th grade.
We dated for 7 years before we got married. It was a big deal in our community. Our families were very involved in the community and in the church. And so, you know, when we got married, it was a big event.
About 5 years into marriage, we had our first son. And then a few years later, had our second boy.
Congratulations, y'all.
When we first got married, I mean, we were young. I was 22, Heather was 21, but we had dated for so long, so we were very comfortable.
Is the date on there right? May 12th?
We had a beautiful family. We were really involved in our church, had good friendships, and we're just really living the dream of what we thought was a perfect life.
That first 15 years was, from the outside looking in, like we just had it all together.
Right at 15 years of marriage, I got a phone call from a lady who said, I know what you're doing with my husband, and I am going to give you 24 hours to tell your husband or I'm going to tell him.
I had been at a meeting coming in late one night and walked into the door, and Heather met me and said, we need to talk.
And he just sat there and I said, I've messed up, and I've messed up really bad. And he could kind of see what was coming. And I told him that I'd been unfaithful, that I had committed adultery, and it was a full physical and emotional affair.
That was the moment that our world changed forever.
He got really mad, of course. I can remember he threw something against the wall and he needed to know who it was with, how long it had taken place. And once I'd given him that information, he just left the house. I just remember thinking, my marriage is over. And my first thought, and honestly, the thought that was most in my head at that time, I was so much more concerned about losing my boys than I was about losing my marriage.
Do I leave? Do I take my boys and protect them from who I at that point considered to be almost a monster? You know, somebody I didn't know who she was at that point, and I knew that I couldn't really make any big decisions. I didn't have enough information. There was just a lot. Sleep was not gonna happen. And as I laid there praying and crying out to God, I really heard God say to me, you have permission to leave, but I'm asking you to stay.
So we were really hoping that we could just keep this to ourselves and only with that other couple. But we knew that we needed to go to the church, and you wanted to tell my dad.
Because he was the minister of music, and I said, you can go with me if you want to, but I'm going to tell him.
My dad immediately, being the amazing father that he is, got us quickly into counseling. We went that day.
And he said, okay, 15 years of marriage. What has been the best year of marriage? Let's talk about the best year of marriage. And I just remember laughing and going, what? I thought it was year number 15. A couple of days into this trying to figure out how we were going to survive, there was a lot more of the story that came out. And those details, unfortunately, made this become a very public story in our community. Our little town of 25,000 people that knew us so well and knew our family so well, now they knew that we weren't who they thought we were.
I felt like I was constantly walking around our community with an A spray painted on my chest. And that started from day one of confession.
When we finally settled in on a counselor that we felt comfortable going with together, she told us that we needed to find a mentor.
And there was a lady in my church. It was the only one I could think of. And so in the parking lot of the counseling office, I picked up the phone and called her, and she didn't even say hello. She just said, "Heather, I have been on my face for you ever since I heard, and I've just been waiting for you to call." I remember my mentor told me the story about the lady in Luke 7, and I just, in hearing the story of her, hearing the story of this lady who had sexual sin and was so broken at the feet of Jesus, and something began to crack, something began to break in me. Jesus then told the Pharisees, "Those who have been forgiven little, love little, but those who have been forgiven much, love much." God allowed that moment for all those prayers to be answered. And there was a brokenness in me, and I saw who I was apart from the Lord in that moment. And I can remember just falling down, literally on my face on the floor, and knowing that I couldn't pick my head up. The weight was so heavy. I just was carrying my sin, but the weight of that was so incredibly heavy. And my mentor put her hand on me, and she said, "God, please don't let her see her sin without catching a glimpse of her Savior."
Just one glimpse of Him in glory.
And I did. I caught a glimpse of my Savior in that moment. And my life has never, ever been the same.
And I got a phone call from her mentor. And so I walk into the room where Heather was sitting on the couch. She looked like a different person. For the first time, I think she apologized, and she cried, and she asked for forgiveness for the first time. And I think I actually said that I forgave you. And I believe that that different look was just the weight of her sin was no longer on her, that she completely gave it to Jesus, and it caused her to literally look different even physically. When I saw Heather and saw this change, and even when she apologized and asked for forgiveness, I knew it was a really, really long road ahead of us. I remember laying in bed the first night, and I remember a few years back having been at Berry College at a wedding. Bubba and Cindy Cathy were at the wedding, and they took some of us on a tour of this old dairy farm. And they mentioned a place for marriages. And I just remember Googling Bubba and Cindy Cathy marriage retreat. And Wind-Shape Marriage popped up. About 6 weeks after confession, we ended up at Wind-Shape at Normandy.
The moments of driving onto campus, I was terrified. I didn't know what to expect. I knew we were going to be meeting with some counselors, but that also other people would be there. We had a host couple while we were there, and I remember she spoke words over me that I'd never heard before. And she told me that I was a daughter of the King. And for somebody who had lived the sinful life that I had, that I'd chosen to live. To have somebody speak those words of, you're not just a daughter, but you're a daughter of the Most High King, and that He still adored me and treasured me. And those words I will never, ever forget, because it's how I'm able to step forward. It's how I'm able to tell our story. It's how I'm able to say, if God could do that for me, He can do that for you. WindShape gave me hope. We knew when we drove off of campus that we were going to make it, and that we weren't just going to make it, but that we were going to thrive.
As we begin to heal and all of these tools and things that we kind of had, we felt like, God, if you want us to be able to help somebody, anybody, if there's a couple out there that's experiencing something like we've experienced, we're willing.
But it started happening when people came to us and said, hey, we know what y'all have been through, and you made it. And not only did you make it, but you're thriving.
And now we get to use that to help couples through marriage coaching and through mentoring.
All of the things that we do are just to point to Jesus.
There's just this part of me that just feels so honored that God chose me to journey alongside Heather. But then for me to also catch on to that and go, no, you're not changing without me. We're going to do this together. And so changing together and having what we have now makes every bit of it worth it. And would I go back and go through what we went through? I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But at the same time, I wouldn't change where we are today for anything. And so was it worth it? I mean, absolutely, it was worth it.